Well, shares of Netflix dropping 3.5% today, now down almost 7% since reporting earnings last Thursday. And one self-proclaimed extreme bull is starting to worry about the stock. CNBC contributor Tom Rogers is the former NBC Cable President. He is now executive chairman of AI company ClayGrid and Orbit Media and Entertainment. Tom, it's always great to see you.
Great always to be with you and the gang, Melissa. Thanks for having me.
We're excited that you could be here. I talked to you right after Netflix earnings were out on Squawk Box the next morning, and what's really stood out to me was the change in tone. So right here, right now, you are more cautious on Netflix at this point?
Well, I'm worried that no longer being a raging bull on Netflix will disqualify me for being a stud in guys' eyes, but let me try to put out my worries. I gotta still say it's going to be the most valuable media company out there and will continue to be for a long time, something I predicted a number of years ago. And it had great earnings. There was nothing wrong with its earnings at all. It did everything it said it was going to do. But engagement is what drives everything here. The amount of viewing it gets, it drives price increases, which drive programming budget, which drives more great programming. And there's some worrisome signs about the level of viewing and engagement it is getting. Its share relative to YouTube, which was about neck and neck with it not long ago. YouTube is 12.5% viewing share, total TV time. Netflix has been about constant at 8%. And as overall share has grown 6% of streaming viewing versus linear television, Netflix has been about stable. So some worrisome signs there.
Tom, there's nothing you could do that would take away stud status in my eyes, number one. Number two, is there anything Netflix can do to sort of mitigate what you're talking about? You know, the live events is a big deal for them. Do they have to sort of go further down that road?
Well, live events is certainly a big deal, particularly for their advertising business. But as they said on their call, even their biggest shows that run more than a single sports event may be responsible for 1% of total viewing. So you need a lot more behind it than any single show. And they used to be, going back a few years, 80% of the top 10 of any given week of streaming shows in terms of viewership. Now they've dropped down to about 50% of their shows are in the top 10. They still have more hit shows than all the other streaming services combined. But when you look at the growth of their sub base and look at the amount of total engagement time from all viewers they get, the amount of viewing per viewer has gone down some. Now, am I that worried about it that I still don't? I believe that it's on the verge of really getting hit badly? No, it's got an enormous programming budget, and its local production internationally really helps fuel it in foreign markets in a way that other services can't. But it's something to watch for sure.
Tom, it's Karen. Thanks for being on. I've been wondering about when we will see some efficiency from AI in their content costs. How far on the horizon do you think that is?
Well, you make a great point, because AI, I think, is going to be a double-edged sword for Netflix. Certainly, relatively near term, it's going to have benefit when it comes to anybody who's engaged in targeted advertising, because AI is going to allow for multitudes of spots to be created on any given product to even more zero in on targeting audiences with different versions of ads, which AI can do incredibly cheaply. At the same time, a little further out, there will be elements of programming cost which are reduced by virtue of AI production tools. But where I worry about is that YouTube has different programming, obviously, than Netflix. It has more creator-generated content, shorter form content. And the line between professional and amateur content is going to get more and more blurry as AI tools in the hands of amateurs allow them to produce things that look incredibly professional. And if YouTube today is generating as much of a gap in terms of viewing share with Netflix as it already is, I think AI in the hands of the creative community of YouTube could create a level of professional programming for YouTube which drives its viewership even further.